confirms that the last piece is moving back into place.
That's wonderful. I'll await your safe return then. You can give me a full report over a plate of luscious cucumber sandwiches.
I'll be happy to fill you in, Professor.
Who shot Tails down?
Do you feel that?
Looks like you're a bit too late, Sonic. Eggman! Thanks to my wondrous technology, Dark Gaia is whole and complete. I harnessed its energy to put together this little creation. Behold, the Ultra Hyper Prototype 1! Crush them!
Could've given it a better name, Dr. Eggman.
This gorge will be your tomb!
Anyway, welcome to part 17 of the Sonic Unleashed Let's Play. And the reason why it's not really titled the finale is because, well, in the last part, I lied. We are finishing up this game, but just not in this part. That's actually the next part. But anyway, now that we are in part 17 and we are now fighting Dr. Eggman, we are now fighting against the Egg Dragoon. Once again, I will mention this, that the Egg Dragoon once again makes its appearance in Sonic Generations, although the fight in Generations is very different compared to the original fight in this game. Because since you're playing as the Werehog, yeah, there's definitely a difference. I'm gonna be honest though, for a boss fight that's a follow-up to the absolute complete hellhole that is Eggman Land, this boss fight is actually piss easy. Like, it is so easy, especially when you level up Sonic, making his strength in combat. All you really need to do is attack the green light, or yeah, the green fuck me light, and you can just wail on him from there. Once you get to the point, once you deplete a certain point of his health, then it goes into a quick time event and segment. It's like, yeah, it's like, you know what? I guess they only brought this boss fight back in Sonic Generations just because of how piss easy this boss fight is in the original, in this game anyway. Because in the Generations boss fight, for those that have watched it, the Generations version of this boss fight, you're obviously playing as Daytime Sonic, and it's more, I mean, it's a lot more difficult, yes, but it's also, well, it also drags out to an unnecessary degree. I mean, in terms of the boss fight here, it's okay. At least the original. And again, I will say, comparing Daytime Sonic with the Werehog, in terms of stages and boss fights anyway, Daytime Sonic may have the better stages, but I personally think the Werehog has the better boss battles. Because again, these play more like more of a traditional boss battle, whereas the Daytime boss fights, they play similarly to how the boss fights in Sonic Advance 2 would play out. And as far as this music goes, since I guess because you know this music is in Sonic Generations Remix, I'm gonna be honest with you, I actually like the Generations version more. I mean, I like this one as well, but I'm not too big on the violin here. The violin just makes it just sounds a bit more messy to me. Yeah, I prefer it without the violin, and that's pretty much what the Generations version does. It makes it sound a bit more cleaner. Well, cleaner in a sense that there's a lot less going on in the music. In terms of the boss fight's attacks, he has the ice bombs, he has his barrel gun. Unlike that, and if he shoots it on the ground, it has this flame residue, or whatever you like to call it. He has this drill thing, which occasionally he'll use to break up a platform, although he'll only do this twice in this fight, as shown. And he'll also use that drill. He'll also use this drill to sweep you off the platform. And just trying to think. Oh yeah, and occasionally he'll also spawn some enemies in the arena for you to fight. But that's more of a distraction than anything. Again, all the attacks are the reason. I guess a good reason why I haven't really been talking about this boss fight in terms of what it does and how it tries to kill you. And I fucked up that quick time event there. Like this attack right here. This attack is so easy to dodge. If anyone died to this boss fight, how would anyone die to this boss fight is beyond me. I guess when he is doing that sweeping motion though, the green light is, well, you can't really attack it. I guess you can, but it shaves off very little health. It's better to attack it when it's open, like any traditional boss fight, it would. So anyway, let's try this again. I don't know how I messed up that quick time event. I don't know, maybe my quick time event, maybe my reaction skills are are degrading as I age. Whatever the case is, at least we can properly destroy this boss. And I love this ending animation for a little bit. Sonic grabs the cockpit, and it looks like Team Eggman's blasting off again. Twinkle. Yes, I am familiar with the Pokemon cartoon. I didn't play the Pokemon game in any form, but I am familiar with the cartoon. So anyway, that is pretty much it with the Werehog. Yeah, I'm serious. And you'll see why in the cutscene coming up. Enjoy. Well, after the loading screen anyway. Okay, yeah, enjoy it.
How could I lose? This isn't over. I'll build a prototype too and...
What? It's Dark Gaia.
Yes, Dark Gaia! Crush this insolent little hedgehog! Kick him to the outer limits of space!
Sonic, what's wrong? Sonic!
Chip! Run, Chip!
Hey! 7 lights of the earth rekindled!
What's happening? Oh, wow, that's just incredible! The temple!
Awaken and gather here to me! Sonic.
That is probably one of the most ridiculous things I have seen in a long time. Like, even when I first played the Wii version of this game back in middle school, I was like, what the fuck? So apparently, thanks to Chip's power, he managed to combine all the temples into one, creating a giant Megazord, I guess, and we have to use it to fight Dark Gaia, the final boss of the game. All we can really do here is boost, well, looking at the instructions on the bottom right, we can boost with the square button, guard with the L1 button, which I recommend you do here because one of the attacks is unavoidable. So, I am not kidding. That laser is impossible to avoid, and you will get hit by that laser no matter what. So it's best if you hold down the L1 button to guard, and whenever he's throwing those meteorites, hold down the L2 or R2 button to attack. But the problem with the Gaia Colossus is that whenever you have to guard or attack, it's delayed beyond belief. So my best bet is to just don't do it right as you need to. Don't do it as when the projectiles are coming right at you, or at least when they're right in front of you. Just do it a little bit before. Like, prematurely do it.
Roger that, buddy. Time for the big finale.
But of course, being the final boss, as we have to use we have to put in some daytime Sonic. And this is probably one of the more frustrating parts in the whole game, let alone one of the most frustrating final bosses in the whole series. Basically what we have to do is that we have to reach a ramp and destroy one of the eyes. It's like that, but as you can see on the top left corner, we are on a time limit. If we don't reach that ramp before the time limit, like if we don't make it to the ramp, it's gonna cost you a life. Now I don't think I failed here, so I'm not really sure. Or if you do get sent back, or you get sent back to the first Gaia Colossus segment, or if you just have to redo the Daytime Sonic segment. I think it might be the latter, but again, not too sure. Now we're in the second part of the first phase, and I'm gonna be honest, Dark Gaia is probably one of the worst final bosses in the whole series. He's right up there with Time Eater, only Time Eater is just horrible. Although I still prefer Dark Gaia over the Time Eater, because the Time Eater is, well, more poorly designed than Dark Gaia. Although, again, not saying this boss fight is good. Since your attacks since the Gaia Colossus movement is so delayed, the laser attack especially is so hard to avoid. Well, actually impossible to avoid. As I mentioned before. Yeah. and of course, once we get up to when we have to, like, you know, use the quick time events. It's just that with each part of the first phase, it gets harder and harder as it obviously gets harder. And it adds more by adding more, well, quick time events. It's like in the first part we did 3, and here, oh, now it's 4. And I bet you in the third phase it's gonna be 5. How predictable is that? But one thing I should mention about the Sonic segments is that, well, the one that we're coming up to, since they also get more difficult, well, we obviously have to avoid is the Dark Gaia tentacles, which are horribly unfinished as we saw there, right? But speaking of which, I couldn't boost over that. I couldn't air boost over that tentacle, so I got hit there. And some of the projectiles are still pretty annoying, are still pretty hard to avoid, and it could cost you some precious time. My advice here is that I wouldn't in terms of boosting boosting, well, which you need to do in order to get to the eye much faster and beat the clock. I wouldn't boost unless if it's a long straight pathway with not too many obstacles in the way. And the shitty thing is about this boss fight as well is that unlike Eggman Land, where at the very least it does throw you a bone by giving you extra lives right before a really bullshit hard segment, although I don't think it excuses the overall design in the segments. Like, I really should have been hit there. But it doesn't really excuse the design of sections like the bobsleigh or whatever. But in this boss fight, this boss fight doesn't throw you extra lives like Eggman Land does. With that being said, if you have like 3 on your first playthrough especially, if you have 3 lives, if you have just 3 lives in this area, oh, go back. Just go back. Because you're not going to survive. You'll just get an instant game over. Or just right there. And as you get closer, of course the projectiles are going to be coming a lot faster. Good thing I have reflexes. Oh god, the laser! Ah, thank god I made it. In the Wii version of this boss fight, which I'm not sure if I want to show off, in the Wii version of this boss fight, instead of boosting through this magma rock area and use quick time events, instead, it's pretty much punch out. Yeah, we literally punched the crap out of Dark Gaia. The only thing is that we only have to do that once. And as far as like the daytime Sonic parts, we have to, well, I guess it's a little easier to do, and we're not on a time limit. Especially in this last part that we're coming up to right now. Let's see. Okay. Alright, so now we're on the last daytime Sonic part. And this part can be the most frustrating because not only is it the longest daytime segment in this boss fight, but there's a lot more tentacles to avoid and these projectiles that just come at you without any sort of warning. And I really should not have air boosted there. Oh god, I'm now losing precious time. I gotta make it. Come on, hurry up, hurry up. Ooh! God damn! That was way too close. Anyway, that is it for the first phase of this boss fight. We have loads of cutscene here, but otherwise, see it for the finale.
What's happening? It was broad daylight a minute ago.
Dark Gaia has regained its true power. The beast is complete. It's just as the Gaia manuscripts foretold, and the world shall be plunged into the dark of night, the dark of destruction. Oh, that it should come to this. We're doomed. The planet is lost.